All right, is this actually live or not? I think it might actually be live. If it is, we'll find out in just a second. Give it a moment, see if it's going to reset or if this is the real deal. It's been kicking them to me lately after 100 in a row of it not doing it. But this is very, very early, so it might take a moment for anyone to get in. No one expects me to do a live stream this early. But I kind of need to do so today due to my own schedule. This is the only time I'm really going to be able to fit one of these in. So let's get over, let's talk about it. Did I actually make this public? Is this a public? Because I don't see anyone in here yet. All right, live stream. So, yep, there we go. There we go. We're getting some people in here now. All right. So, as we get people in, wondering if it actually went live or not, if it went public. And it's also, again, because I don't tend to do them this early. So, let's go ahead and talk about what we're going to talk about. Let me give you guys forearm shot before we get started. Of course, we had some good training footage today. You guys saw the footage. You saw the reels. I look the best I've ever looked. Looking leaner, bigger, tighter, more vascular, especially now that I trimmed carbs down, replace it with healthy fats. We're seeing definitely the cuts coming out. You guys can also see in the thumbnail. Happy with that. I did a survey, though, last night. I put up a poll on the channel, and I'm going to discuss that poll with you guys and gals briefly because it was interesting. It is not what I actually expected. It is not what I expected the results to be. You know, I gave people 4 options, and it was, do you consider steroids to be morally wrong to use purely for cosmetic or performance purposes? The thing is that I gave 4 choices, and I feel like the first 2 were 88% of the total responses. Means only 12% of people really had any issue with gear whatsoever, as long as people were honest about it. Right? Hundreds of votes. 48% said it's a personal choice, not a moral issue. No morality at all. Not even a concern. 48% is half. I mean, that's enough to elect a president pretty much in some elections. The next biggest one at 40% says personal choice, but only wrong to lie about it. So let's keep in mind, almost 90% of people either felt that using gear was a personal choice and not morally wrong, or it's only morally wrong to lie about it. Now, some people gave comments, other things. Now, as far as the others go, 5% said it's okay for legit TRT by a doctor, but not otherwise. That's assuming they didn't already feel in the other 2 categories. And then 7% said steroids are bad, and if you use them, you are bad. Okay? 7%. Only 7%. I thought it was going to be way higher, given the way people view stuff out there. All right. This is my Sonic sugar-free ocean water today. So, I'll get to y'all's questions in a bit. Feel free to keep asking your questions, though, guys. I don't know why I have 2 people asking questions and only 1 like. Only 3 people asking questions and only 1 like. Let's get them likes up, guys. That's what gets the algorithm going. Give me the likes. Give me them engagements. So, also follow me, if you don't already, on the Facebook fitness page. All right. Though that poll was interesting. Again, not fully what I expected from the community. I think it means that people have really kind of just lightened up with the whole idea. I think people have realized by and large people are going to do it. The whole idea of virtue signaling to nattiness based on that poll is a dead idea. Less than 10% of people felt that way voting. Less than 10%. And I think with a lot of it, even though I warn about the dangers of really serious abuse, I think most people have kind of realized the only people who are really having the health issues are abusing astronomical amounts. Like, people need to understand Guys like Dallas McCarver, his autopsy showed that he was using 10,000 milligrams a test a week. Average gear user, like semi-new one, uses 500 milligrams. So context, he's using 20 times the amount the average guy who does stuff does. 20 times, literally 20 times. Based on the autopsy pharmacology, plus all the other stuff. So, again, and I think people kind of realize that at this point. And I think the thing that we have to think about with those concerns too, we do live in a society where I'll answer those questions in a minute, guys. So we live in a society to where people care about looking good and they don't care about it being enhanced or not, meaning plastic surgery is the norm. Plastic surgery and things are the norm. The other thing too, we can't even make the health concerns because we live in a society to where it's legal to drink alcohol. It's legal to eat McDonald's. I mean, realistically, those are deadlier than testosterone at reasonable amounts. And that's if you go off the data. That's if we purely go off the evidence you have, not hyperbole. So, again, what do we say about it? And I think people are starting to figure some of that out. So let me go over to everyone's questions. Satnav says, real start. Yeah, it took a minute. It took like a full minute to get people in today, but that's okay. They're starting to trickle in now. We're getting people in. GR says 178 pounds at 5'10", 184 times 4 bench, 195 squat, deadlift 230, military press 140 Z4. What should I do? I have low back pain that's hindering my squat deadlift progress. I believe it's due to overhead hyperextension when I unrack. Then quit hyperextending your rack. Wear a belt when you do it. Also, start doing some reverse hyper. Start doing some good morning. Start doing some back extensions and strengthen your low back up. Peter says, "How's life, brother? Dude, my life is phenomenal right now. Right? Should have a great weekend planned." Hey, Peter, I didn't talk about gear. I didn't do any detailed discussion. I only discussed the general topic. I didn't go into specific stuff or promote its use. I didn't promote anyone do anything with illicit substances. So I didn't really cross that line, unlike a lot of the channels. So keep that in mind. Doesn't mean I'm going to do real gear talk here. But let's get back over to the other questions. Can vitamin D3, zinc, and multi-boost test? No, absolutely not. GR says, is it normal to do 10% weight resets after adding 5 pounds each time as a novice? Been making bench progress, keep having to deload them and work back. Perfectly normal. That's the whole idea. That is the way that progression system is designed to work. Right? That's the way it's designed to work. It's exactly how it's intended to work. You're like, well, I keep doing the progress and I have to reset it. Yes. That is exactly what you were supposed to do. It is working as intended. Love More Hinduism says, dumbbell rows, thoughts on it? I think it's a great exercise if performed correctly. Peter says, why are you streaming so early today? Due to my schedule and plans. If at this point, it was either stream early or not stream at all. So you guys got to stream. Right? You got to stream. It's just early. And I had that poll to talk about, which I put up, which I thought was interesting. Margo says, do you currently recommend multivitamin supplements? Potentially, yeah. Right? Potentially, yeah. But it depends on if you think you need one or not as an insurance policy at this point. My opinion changed on that over the years based on research, by the way. I used to laugh at that idea, but now I say, yeah, I mean, it's fairly reasonable. There's some data to support it. If you need one as an insurance policy, go ahead. Just be aware of heavy metal overuse. Peter says, so Alex Eubank's channel could be deleted because of what he said. If he's given detailed gear talk, then in theory, yes. Exquisite says because he has a social life. Simple, you nailed it, Exquisite. Satnav says, do you use L-citrulline? Nope. No, I do not. I don't even know why anybody would use L-citrulline. I don't get it. Is there even good data to support the idea? I haven't seen it. Peter said, is your clientele still full? No, I've got a couple slots open, but I'm not taking any clients until like maybe around the start of the month. But if you would like to put an application in, go ahead and put the application in, because if you get it in early, your application will be in ahead of anyone else who's sending it in around the start of the month. So put it in, right? Go to the I cannot talk. I'm getting tongue-tied. Go to the fitness Facebook page. There's too many F's there. Read the sticky at the top and put it in. Right? Put that application in. Straightforward. What's your thoughts on cocoa powder? I'm going to need you to be more specific, because I don't really think about cocoa powder. It's not on my purview. So do you have a specific question about cocoa powder? Yeah, Peter, that was slick of you. But you know what? You guys can't just make up malicious lies like that. You do know that's not true, right? And Peter, I'm going to go out on a limb and say, for you to even say something like that, notice I'm going to say this very calm. When you know that I have a history of being a survivor of that and very outspoken about it, to make up that sort of crazy malicious lie about someone in that situation actually makes you a really, really bad human being. And you really need to rethink your values as a person if you're doing that. And that's not even about me. Had you done that to anybody, not just me, but anybody, it's time for you to really rethink your values, okay, as a person. Because do you think that makes you a good person? To take someone who you know is a survivor of that's been outspoken about it, been an advocate for survivors, and to literally just make something up like that. Okay? Just to do it, just because you think it's funny. Right? And your circle thinks it's funny. Do you think that makes you a good person? Set aside, it's nothing about me. That's all about you. It's nothing to do with me. GR, will someone look like they lifted after hitting a 225-25 bench? Maybe. I'm very biased in terms of what I think someone looks like who lifts. Can we get a few more likes here, though, guys? There's only y'all commenting and not many likes. GR, to the average person, you'll probably look like you lift. But if you're not in a lean, athletic body fat, you may not. You may just look like a fat guy to other people. But if you're reasonably lean and you have those numbers, to the average person, you're going to look like you lift big time. To the fitness community, you're not going to look like you lift. So there's your context. But walking down the street to most people, yes, absolutely. Dean B says, it's about time YouTube starts. How are they going to clamp down on it? I mean, you can report them all you want, but they don't find their IPs or go through their VPNs or whatever and block them from making new profiles. Exquisite, how do you cope when out with friends who are drinking? I just don't drink. It's pretty straightforward. My friends also know that it's not cool. You don't offer people drinks who don't drink. Like, they're mature adults. My circle is all over 40, right? We're all older. So keep that context there. And a lot of my circle are law enforcement and things like that, police officers. Gob says, I drink homemade chocolate milk without sugar. I've seen people deride Sam Salute for drinking chocolate milk. Was it because, well, because of, yeah, it's all the junk. I mean, Sam eats a junk food diet while blasting large amounts of gear, right? You guys act like I can't do stuff phonetically. So, I mean, I'm just going to call it like it is. Sam is going to die young, unfortunately. And it's not being mean. It's just saying, look at specifically what he demonstrates on camera. Very high side effects from the gear use, blood pressure dramatically elevated. You see evidence of inflammation of his chest cavity, water retention, edema of the chest cavity, combined with a junk food diet. He's going to die very, very young. And that's unfortunate. And that diet's not helping. Right? You can't blast 5 grams of gear a week and drink giant gallon jugs of chocolate milk. It's just a bad combination. GRGR, would getting to a 195 pounds to hit those novice numbers be worth it? No, you shouldn't need to be 195 to hit those necessarily. Why don't you bulk slow the way I recommend? Right? Bulk at the rates I recommend. Take your time. Like you said, you weigh 178. I would spend a year, an entire year to a year and a half to go up to 195 from where you are, would be my advice. Yeah, Dean, he said he's 178. Exquisite says Wild Night at the Bingo Club, right? It's all good. Gerger, we'll just call you Gerger, ex-Gerger. Also installing at 185 pounds bench for 4 reps normal for a novice. Yeah, perfectly normal. All right. You do the 10% reset and you keep going. Hey, lifting, I'm not going to answer questions about your booty hole. Sorry, dude. Maybe you should talk to your doctor about it. Would be my advice. All right. Yeah, that would probably be anything like that, man. Discuss that with your medical doctor. That's the person to discuss it with, not me. All right. I'm not embarrassed by it. I'm just telling you I'm not helpful there. What weight should I strive to be at 5'10"? All right. So because you're a younger guy, I'm going to assume that by 5'10" you mean 5'7" to 5'8". Because younger guys always add 2 to 3 inches. Yeah, you guys always add 2 to 3 inches to your height. Been my experience. I'm not making fun of you. I'm just saying I've noticed 95 to 99% of guys under about 30 do that. So, I mean, being in your 170s is probably fairly reasonable drug-free. Okay. So if you actually are real 5'10" measured, over time, I would say maybe work up to 185, assuming you're completely natural. Working up to about 185 over the next, time would be good. You could be pretty lean. I mean, example, my client Justin is about 190, and you see what he looks like. He goes from 185 to 190. So look at him in any of the testimonials or the clips. He's got abs and everything. He's been training for 15 years, and I've been coaching him for 5 years straight. So that's what a drug-free, extremely advanced lifter with a 500-plus pound squat looks like. So he's never been over 190 to my knowledge, right? With a 520 squat and a 590-pound deadlift with 15 years of training experience. And he's in his mid-30s now. Okay? So that should give you a context for size of a guy similar height to you, 5'10" to 5'11". Loner, he could probably reduce his doses. And based upon the side effects we're seeing, he could probably make gains on less. Do you consider 6 foot to be tall? 6 foot is objectively speaking tall, yes. Okay, considering the average American male is 5'9", and in most countries it's shorter than that, 6 foot would be 3 feet taller, 3 inches taller than the average guy. It's 3 inches higher than the national average in America. Therefore, on a bell curve, objectively, it would be tall. Gerger, no, just lift reasonably fast. You don't have to be super explosive on the concentrics, especially not on smaller movements. Benching and stuff, it makes sense. Oh, Peter. I'm going to keep your money, though. Because money is money. It's all green. All right. You should do more of that, Peter. You should come do that about 20 more times today. And you guys really have no reason to hate me. You guys just have make-believe reasons that you guys have made up. It's not even true. It really let's just be realistic. You guys have made up silly stuff that you know is not even true. We hate you for X, Y, and Z, and it's not even real. Like people who know me in real life just roll their eyes and go, wow, you guys are crazy. Context. When on the internet you believe something to be true, but people who have known you for 25 years think is insane, where's the truth? All right. You're hating a fictional persona that you've created and then projecting it onto me at my channel and at my home. That's how it works. Ex-Gerger, I have a policy of banning people in the live stream for asking for help with getting girls. So I will give you a moment to delete your own comment, and then we'll continue. Since you clearly didn't know that, you get a warning, and that's fair, right? Dean B said, what's a good strong Pendlay row weight? That's hard to say because rowing in general is so easy to cheat on, including Pendlay rows. You know, but I'm going to say anything 225 plus for reps is pretty good. Right? But it depends really on how strict we're going. That's the problem. It is so easy to cheat on rows. It's very, very difficult to set strength standards. Hold on, checking a couple client messages, see if anything important is coming through. Okay. Your ex-Gerger says, what's a good bench press weight for people under 185? I'm going to say anything 275 plus. Right? I'm going to say you're doing pretty good. If you can bench at least 275 with a good, clean pause as a grown man, that's a decent strength base. Keep in mind, you watch me do flat back sets of 3 to 4 reps, paused, and I'm almost 50 years old. So, do novices need accessories? Probably not. A little bit of tricep work. That's about it. Like I've gotten guys. So what are we talking about in terms of novice strength? For me as a coach, when I'm working with novices, I can usually get them to that 225 for reps mark with just programming their bench and a little bit of tricep work. Sometimes as little as just doing band work, maybe a delt exercise, maybe an incline bench, maybe. It just takes time, consistency. Do you recommend novices do like dips and push-ups to get past stalls? Nope. Just keep pushing the bench with, again, a little bit of tricep work and stuff, smart programming. Dean B says, yeah, your abs are looking tight today. Notice that in the vlog, definitely getting them, but V-taper to your back is more. Yeah, I mean, now we can see now that the low back is sucking in, that when I'm just standing, walking from the camera, we see that my lats, you know, are a good 6 inches wider than each side of my waist at this point. Favorite rapper? Well, I want to say Eminem because, because I'm a saltine American, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be cliche like that. I actually, okay, don't judge me for this. I actually like Ja Rule. I know. I know. Yeah, Gerd, just focus on that. Do some tricep work. I don't discuss political candidates in here. I don't discuss how I vote. BF says, Jason, do you miss the UK? No, I don't miss the UK at all. I miss the cathedrals and the castles and the history, but the country itself, Texas is way better, hands down. If you could bring back Piano or Lenny back, who would you choose? I don't want to trash talk a dead person. Is that fair? I do not believe Piano was a good person. Let me rephrase that. I have a lot of evidence sent to me that he was a really, really terrible person, but the guy's dead, and I don't want to hash all that out. It's kind of not cool. Lenny was just weird. He didn't seem to actually be a bad person that hurt people. Like Lenny wasn't violent, and things. He didn't hurt people. So Lenny was a little weird, but he was funny. So for me, I'm going to go with Lenny, but I don't want to really drag out the Piano stuff. It's just the guy's dead. I'm going to just let him rest. Was he? I don't know that he was. No, I didn't watch the Del Rey Misfits. I thought they were weird, and I didn't understand why they were part of fitness culture at all. I didn't get it. Can squats add deadlift, build a big lower body, even if you have a short torso? Yeah, they can work wonders there. You might want to do some other stuff, but for base building, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, I don't understand why anyone watched the Del Rey Misfits. I didn't get it. It just seemed like a weird. I didn't understand the point personally. Just me. Doesn't mean that it's wrong for you. I'm just saying I didn't get it. I don't have to understand something. Gob, you have to go through. Actually, even though I dislike Lane, he cited tons of those studies. What you need to look for, you need to look specifically for stuff like the carbon isotope studies that literally measure by using the carbon and X-raying later where it went in the body from the different foods. Hey, why would I discuss specifically with you what my various contacts and friends have said about it so that people can know what's going on? Why would I tell you that? Like, do I want to derail efforts? Do I want to reduce my chances of success by giving out information? So actually, I should probably lie. Okay. Yeah, it's that serious. Why would you not know it's that serious? Are you able to get your hands? I have no idea. I don't. What? Why can't? I don't understand your question about putting your hands on your hips. Are there people who can't put their hands on their hips? Is that a thing? It's really strange. Yeah, how often do you get spotted and recognized out and about? Uh, I don't know because people don't necessarily always approach me. I've had people go post online, "Hey, I saw you in the airport. I saw," and they didn't approach me at all. So who knows how often it happens? I only know how often I get approached, and it varies. There's no set pattern, right? There's no set pattern. It could happen frequently, or it could happen few and far between. No, I don't. I've never owned any New Balance shoes. I'm not quite that old. Am I? Am I that old now? Am I in the New Balance generation? All right. Thought you would be. Yeah, I mean, it definitely happens. Yeah, I don't. I'm not going to do New Balance. If I'm not wearing boots, I'm usually going to be in Chucks. I like Converse. I like Chucks. I like exotic boots. So I have snake skins and lizard skins. I don't care if you think Chucks are bad for my feet. See, that's the thing, bro. I didn't ask you for your opinion on my shoes. How much are my most expensive boots? They're worth about 500. You've seen them, right? If you follow my social media, you've seen them. But those are my pythons. All right. Oh, okay. Well, they're up on Facebook and stuff. Um, has getting jacked? How would I know? I've been doing this a really long time. Should probably ask someone who recently got jacked, like in the last 10 years, a question. I've been lifting since I was your age, pretty much. Um, yeah, I've been training for 25 years. All right. I lived in Cheltenham when I was in the UKBF. Lived in Cheltenham. It's gonna be a pretty chill. You guys can tell I'm pretty laid back today. I'm pretty chill. Can't believe that troll's gonna literally come in and act like he could even afford to rent the house I live in. Like you can't afford to live here. Shut up. You can't afford to live in my neighborhood. I'm not being a dick. I'm just calling it like it is. You wouldn't be an internet troll if you could. Lifting. No, I'm not. I'm being hostile to you. I'm being hostile to the guy who was commenting about my home. Not you, bro. Um, no, I'm kind of tired. I'm a little tired today. And I've got busy plans. No, your questions are fine. I didn't understand the thing about the hips. I don't live in a mansion, but you're talking about, bro. You're talking about $500 being a month's rent where you live. I mean, be realistic, dude. I mean, I pay 2,000+ a month to live where I do. Um, Not really. I mean, that's not that baller, dude. I mean, I run a coaching business. I've got a pretty decent coaching business. Um, Burger, I do high bar, thinking of switching to low bar to avoid having to stay upright. Well, it depends. Depends on what you're trying to do. I don't necessarily have an opinion on high bar versus low bar as a universal opinion. I think it is very dependent upon what you're trying to do with it, what your structure looks like, what you're comfortable with. Okay. But I have personally, for overall development, I usually like high bar a little bit more just for leg size. Low bar can be good for moving a little more weight. So would low bar be better for short torso? No, not necessarily. Again, that is a very detailed question depending upon what you're trying to do in your structure. At this point, I would say pick one and just run with it. Though. Again, I don't know why you think I have a roommate. Like in any sort of traditional sense, you guys are ridiculous. Let me be perfectly clear, even though I don't like to discuss my personal life. I am the only person who has ever paid bills in this household. Let's just get that out of the way. And I've never been on Section 8. Dean B says, Gerger says, the squatting build muscle everywhere? No, only if you're completely new to lifting. Like someone who's never touched a weight, if the only thing they do is squat, their upper body will grow a small amount, but it won't be a lot. Dean B says, in Texas, what's the culture like? Not trying to sound rude, but do people really walk around like cowboys like in Western? I don't understand. Like, what do you mean? Like in boots and hats? So what do you mean like cowboys, or do you mean do we ride horses down the street? So be specific. If you mean boots and hats, the majority don't, but tons of people do. There's probably a couple million people who do in Texas. I do sometimes. I wear boots. I occasionally wear a cowboy hat. Lifting, no, that is a standard spot to put it. Jack says, ever got tendonitis? It sucks. Guess I should just wait it out. No, you need to train it out. Right? You need to train it out. You need to get blood flow to those areas. You need to adjust what's causing it, and you need to do appropriate exercises to get blood flow to the tendonitis. All right. If I'm getting low back pain from squats and deads, should I stop doing them? No, adjust your technique, do more ab work, figure out what's causing it. Lifting, that's standard. That is where it's generally put even by a doctor. You're asking stuff when people do glute injections, you're asking, should it interfere, cause problems with low back from your glutes? No, absolutely not. It shouldn't. If it did, then every serious power lifter and bodybuilder in the world would have problems with their low back hurting due to their glutes not firing. Does that appear to be a problem? Doesn't appear to be. Okay, Benji says, how do I convince my dumb out of shape boomer friends to lift weights to improve health? They are so stubborn. I don't know how to convince them of that. Either explain to them the data and the studies. Right? That's about all you can do. I don't know. Maybe go read that book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, and apply it or something. But again, you can only convince people of what you can convince them of. I don't know what your skills of persuasion are like. Gerger says, I think I'm skinny fat. If you're skinny fat, you should probably diet the fat off and then lean bulk up. Jack says, you got to tell them it's non-negotiable. There you go. Dean says, I've noticed ever since I started a belt squatting, holding onto the handles, but staying very upright and going deep has been really bringing up my back squat. Learned that from you, so thank you. Yeah, it will work the quads. It will work the quads a lot more. Benji says, even when I flex in their face and show them my perfect blood work, they shrug it off. Well, in that case, they're being willfully ignorant. I mean, all I would say is continue to try to talk to them about it. Maybe change your approach. If that approach isn't working, maybe try a different strategy with them. Right? Try a different strategy. Usually the problem, unfortunately, when one of them gets really sick or has a problem, then they come to you and it's too late. Oh, my doctor says I got to get in shape. Had a scare. And then it's much harder to fix it. And then you're going to be like, I'm just your friend. I'm not a coach. You have to go hire someone at that point if they're having problems. Again, the unfortunate nature of things. All right. Any other question? This is a slow one, but I expected that, guys. I started this one really early in the day so we could even have a live. So, we expect it to be a little slow. It is what it is. But it's not really picked up much. Since not much is going on, I'm not getting a lot of questions. I may go ahead and wind it down. Maybe do a Facebook Live here before I sign off for the night. So, okay. Is 170 pounds 5'10" too low to start a cut? I don't know. Depends on how much muscle they have. I would say probably. Probably. All right. Let me go ahead and wind this down, though. So let me give you guys a forearm shot. See the veins. I hope it's been informative. I love all of you guys and gals, and I'll talk to you next time.